Good afternoon, fans. This is the girl from Mel's Mat Chat, and this is episode 311. How is everybody's Friday going? I know I look like a mess. I was out last night, so I am freaking cold as hell right now. I am legitimately like, as soon as this gets over, where I'm done, I'm gonna go take a shower. I have groceries coming from Amazon Fresh. I'm just exhausted right now. So be prepared to possibly see me, and you can tell I still have my makeup on from last night. Big announcement. I will be covering Bound for Glory tomorrow. I will be doing my preview and predictions. Maybe later on today, maybe tonight before I go to bed. It's gonna be very something simple and everything like that. It's not gonna be too crazy and everything. And Sunday I will do the review at some point. I already have the thumbnails. I've learned how to do my own thumbnails, as you can possibly see. I'm starting to step my game up. I still have to go through all my get my links of my social media so I could tag them in the description below, so you don't have to worry about trying to look for them on your own. But I will be, doing Bound for Glory. I will be watching it tomorrow night. Looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to see wearing Mickey James. Possibly she's going to go back to WWE because we have her husband now on SmackDown. I know. I almost freaked out when I seen Triple H and Nick Aldis in the same ring. I was like, oh my God. The basically past meets the present, or whatnot. And um between he's got all the amalgamations of Ric Flair, Triple H, everybody from the Evolution. It was just like, holy crap. And seeing that, and him being though that he's not wrestling, but he still is validated that he's in WWE. And I'm very shocked that Tony Khan didn't nail his ass and got him onto the opposing quote unquote team, like everybody calls it. The other company. And I'm just grateful that he was, when I saw him in NWA. Yes, I actually watched NWA. I do follow that. Even though that I don't watch it on a weekly basis, I know what's kind of going on there. And it's just, I watch so much wrestling. I needed like a night off, and I usually don't get it because now I watch Impact on Thursdays. Usually Thursdays was my like dead day there, where I can like catch up on other things that I've been put on hold and everything. But now, since I watch it regularly, last night I didn't get to watch it. I'll probably watch it during dinner and everything tonight, so I could do the go home show for Bound for Glory. So that's going to be an interesting situation. And if you see me blow my nose at all throughout this, it's because my allergies have kicked up because we're having rain right now. So sorry for the where you see me wipe my nose a lot. I have very bad allergies. My eyes are ready to pop right now. But we just got breaking news earlier this today, a couple, maybe an hour or two ago, that at Crown Jewel we have Roman Reigns taking on LA Knight for the WWE Undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion. So we got that. We got the world title match with Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins. So we're having, and then we have the Women's World Championship, where it's a fatal five-way, which I think is unfair, but it is what it is. I just, hopefully they don't screw Rhea. That's all that I'm hoping that it doesn't happen. But we have the emergence of Jay Cargill on all the facets and all the brands of Raw, SmackDown, NXT. So we are moving quite along. I've given you my take on what's going on with Tony Khan. He's a child. I can't deal with perpetual children. He's gonna make AEW looking like a moron, and I'm here for it. Let's see what else. There's really hasn't been that much going on the whole situation with CM Punk, more fuel to the fire, and you know how that's going to go. We're just going to have to wait and see. If he's not at Survivor Series, the Raw after Survivor Series, or at the Royal Rumble, I am deading it. CM Punk will not be back to WWE. All right, I'm throwing it out there now. Today's a regular day. You're going to get the 5 shows. You're going to get SmackDown from last week, Raw, Collision, Rampage, and Dynamite. And we're going to go through them. And that is what it is. But before I go doing that, you know what I like to do. Come on. A little vanilla pumpkin spice iced coffee always goes good on a day like today. Please do me a favor. Go check out the people over at Maestro Classics, maestroclassics.com. Get all your beard essentials, okay? If you're looking for a great beard company and you need quality beard lotions, potions, and washes and everything, please go check them out. They're doing really great things for the community, so I had to catch on. And I love those people over there. They have great merchandise. They have great t-shirts, hoodies, whatnot. So go check them out at maestroclassics.com. Please go check out Liquid Death at liquiddeath.com and get all your artillery to murder your thirst. And you can murder your thirst with spring water, unflavored salsa water, flavored salsa water, and iced tea. I just drank the peach. Holy shit, that's fucking good. I went to ShopRite the other day, and I should have picked up a case. I'm a moron. But seriously, I found where I can get my Liquid Death, and I don't have to go to Whole Foods. It's a lot easier for me to go get that, which I have to go there Monday, and I'm going to go pick up a case of that. Smart idea. Please do me a favor and go check them out at liquiddeath.com. Please also go check out Deathwish Coffee at deathwishcoffee.com and get all your coffee essentials, plus some righteous merch. We're in the season of scaring the shit out of people. Why don't you go get your skull fix with your coffee fix together? I'm treating myself next month, and I'm ordering a box of the hazelnut, and I'm going to get 2 boxes of the pumpkin. They have righteous pumpkin coffee. Seriously, you've got to get it before they run out and everything. It's serious. Like red alert. Go and get that out. Please do me a favor. Go check out HOG Wrestling at hogwrestling.net. They're doing some big things. They are on the Premier app at $9.99 a month. So if you want to support that, also if you want to go check out their next event, you could go check out all the information on hogwrestling.net. Please also follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook. I'm also on X, Twitter, and I'm also on Cameo. Please do me that favor and go check out me on Cameo. If you want to send a message stating on good things, bad things, you want to make an announcement to somebody, you want to break bad news, I got you. It's cheaper than a greeting card. I do it in person, and I will either have the good news on my hand or the blood on my hand. I'll do both. I'm an equal opportunity offender. Seriously. So go check me out on Cameo. It's only $5. Seriously. What can you do and get for $5? Honestly. And I think if you want, you could do a video call with me as well. You'd have to go check that out. I don't know. I'm just on it. I'm getting used to it. So forgive me. I'm still working on my own OnlyFans. Yes, I'm still working on it. They're pains in the asses when it comes to filters and stuff. I wasn't using filters to make my account, but they're being pains in the asses. So I don't know what else I could do, but I'm working on it. Like, I send a new picture every single day, and they keep rejecting it because it doesn't look like my ID. I mean, come on. I put my hair down. I have no makeup on. Yeah, it's the same fucking thing. And they tell you don't smile, but I smile in my ID because I actually have a crooked tooth here. The reason why I do that and I smile is because if somebody takes my identity and they try to pass themselves off as me, they can't fuck with the crooked tooth. Anywho, let's just move on from this. And please do me a favor while you're here, like, share, subscribe, and turn on the bell for all notifications. So when I go live, you know about it, or I post something. Now, now, let's start off with WWE, and then we're gonna go on to AEW at the end. Next week it'll be flip flopped. I try to keep it very airy and try to keep it very unpredictable. Like you don't know which one I'm gonna start out with, depending on how important this is, and it's important because there was a big an announcement from Triple H on SmackDown. Also, John Cena was on the show. Pretty Deadly made their return against the Brawling Brutes, and Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso took on Austin Theory and Grayson Waller for the titles. So let me find my glasses because I can't see. I can't see. No bueno. So we start off with John Cena enters the ring. John extends a warm welcome to Tulsa, and all the viewers tuning in on the season premiere, because it was the season premiere of SmackDown. However, before he can continue that, Roman Reigns comes out and spoils the entire situation. Roman Reigns, accompanied by Paul Heyman and Solo Sikoa, makes his dramatic entrance, interrupting John Cena. Of course. Hey, Alyssa, girl, I love ya. John positioned himself on the opposite side of the ring from Roman. Paul and Solo was ready to engage. Paul locked eyes with Roman and promptly handed him the microphone when Roman Reigns extended his hand. Roman addresses Cena with a mix of taunts, referring him as John Boy and Hollywood. He's on his way there, people. I mean, come on. If you don't know that, then I can't help you. He informs Cena that if he intends to kick off the show, he must do it the proper way. Roman then urges the Tulsa crowd to acknowledge his presence. The only thing that I'm going to acknowledge is thank you, Roman, for sending Jimmy to basically give the titles back to Judgment Day. Okay. And I know, Alyssa, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize in abundantly. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm a Judgment Day girl. I support Cody when it needs to be. I am sorry. I am so sorry. Please forgive me. Please. I love you. Roman addresses the crowd, insinuating that they're cheering for a crowd. He claims that John Cena is only returned because Roman took his leave, and that Cena had the audacity to let people call him the greatest of all time. Roman asserts his own status as the true GOAT and declares that he faced similar situations before and dealt with them successfully. He warns Cena to leave or they will force him out. John Cena acknowledges the high energy in the arena, emphasizing the unpredictable nature of SmackDown. He mentions that he's not here to challenge Roman, but to pay respect. Cena praises Roman's 1,138-day championship reign as the greatest accomplishment in WWE history. Cena then hints at someone who has earned a shot. LA Knight comes out, makes his entrance, and Cena hands him the microphone, indicating that it's time for him to speak. Cena retreats to the corner while Solo Sikoa positions himself closer to Cena. Knight addresses Roman, asking if he's feeling the pressure now. He mocks Roman's titles, claiming that he's just a man standing in Knight's way. Knight introduced himself to Roman, suggesting that while Roman has been inactive for the past month and a half, things have evolved. He urges the crowd to let Roman know whose game is it now. Roman responds, stating that they should be proud of LA Knight because he has been able to get the crowd to say his name just a few months. Roman emphasizes his own 1,100 days as champion, and he claims to accomplish more in wrestling business than Knight could ever dream. Well, I'm going to give people who are Roman stans. I love Roman Reigns. Gorgeous man. fucking gorgeous man. Um, if it wasn't for his lineage, he wouldn't be in the situation that he is in. Sorry. Yes, I went there. And if you don't fucking like it, you could take a flying leap at the second story window. Okay? You have the last name. You're going to get further than other people that don't have a last name. And that includes the McMahons, the Rhodes, the Von Erichs, the whole lineage, all lineages of wrestling families. If you don't have the name, you're not going to be in the situation. I'm going to take you for a sit. Yeah, that I'm done with. If he's not doing it this year, I don't want to hear anything of it. I completely agree with you, Alyssa. So anyway, Roman questions Knight to rethink he belongs in this ring. LA Knight fires back, warning Roman that talking like that is a surefire way to become a thing of the past. He boasts of being the fastest rising star in SmackDown history. Suddenly, Jimmy Uso delivers a super kick to Knight, but Knight manages to send Jimmy out of the ring. Knight has some choice words for Roman and Solo, but Paul Heyman advises Roman to leave the ring. Eventually, Solo departs at Roman's command. Roman instructs Solo to handle Knight, and Solo gets back on the apron, ready for a showdown. Knight interprets Solo's action and challenge and accepted taunts that he cleaned the ring with Solo tonight. The broadcast cuts to a commercial break at this point. So, my nose is itching like crazy today. Sorry. So we come back from the commercial break. We have Kit Wilson and I think it's Elton Price versus Butch and Ridge Holland. So we come back. There is a voiceover discussing the devastating injury Elton Price suffered in the previous encounter with Ridge Holland. Remarkably, Elton has made an incredible recovery and is now known as Elton Strong. Elton makes his entrance, and the crowd erupts with excitement and stands from the wheelchair, signaling that he's back in action and ready to compete. So the action in the ring intensifies as Butch and Elton begin the match. Butch gains control with a wrist lock and delivers a stomp to Elton's elbow. Ridge tags in and to execute a quick tag to Kit. Ridge lands a powerful back elbow, but Kit manages to land on his feet at an attempt to a belly-to-back suplex. Ridge responds with a clothesline to kick Kit back in a four-armed cross chest. They're trying to extend the bloodline situation, but Jimmy's going to end up getting his in the end by Jay, and that's going to be at WrestleMania. So we're just going to have to deal with this until WrestleMania, where the whole entire bloodline goes kaputs. So anywho, moving on, Butch tags back and continues the assault on Kit, connecting with a knee strike. He then kicks Elton off the apron before executing a German suplex on Kit. Butch sends Kit to the floor and follows up with a pasado, diving onto Kit on the outside the ring. Meanwhile, Elton gets on the apron, but Ridge delivers a forearm to him, while Butch continues to pummel Kit with a forearm on the announce table. The action becomes intense and the tensions as we head into a commercial break. We come back as we return from commercial break. Kit starts to turn the tide by delivering punches to Butch. Butch fights back with a series of chops, but Elton tags in and connects with a forearm while Kit holds Butch. Elton follows up with punches, kicks, and a European uppercut. He kicks Butch in the head, showcasing his aggressive offense. Elton continues with a display of strength and resilience, keeping Butch away from his corner. Kit joins the action with a running uppercut in the corner. Butch counters Elton's attempts from the turnbuckle with a boot to the face. Elton and Kit demonstrate their teamwork, but Ridge tags in and unleashes clotheslines on both Elton and Kit. Ridge follows up with a gutbuster on Elton's injured shoulder, and then a powerful slam on Elton onto Kit. Just as Ridge is about to capitalize on this, Kit breaks up the pin attempt. Butch attempts a power bomb on the apron, but Kit counters with with backdrop. Ridge knocks Kit off the apron and executes a suplex on Elton. However, Elton appears to have injured his knee. The ref checks on him. Elton manages to get back to his feet and referee stops it. Kit kicks Ridge and Elton sees the opportunities to roll up Ridge for a 3 count, and the winners are Elton Prince and Kit Wilson. Then after the match, Kit playfully rolls Elton around the stage area in a wheelchair. We have a recap of the LWO versus the Street Profits match from Fastlane is shown. Kayla Braxton interviews Carlito in the backstage area, asking him about his return. Carlito describes his return with a single word: "It's cool." It's cool. Bobby Lashley interrupts the interview, praising Carlito's return. He mentions the last time he saw Carlito, he was beaten up on SmackDown and welcomes him to his show. Carlito suggests that his first match back on SmackDown should be against Bobby Lashley. However, Bobby Lashley claims that he's not dressed to wrestle. Before anything further can happen, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins attack Carlito with a chair. Before Bobby can intervene, Adam Pearce and officials rush out to stop the assault. We come back from commercial break. The LWO members are checking on Carlito after an earlier attack by Ford and Dawkins. Bailey approaches and inquires about EO's celebration. Zelina Vega reassures Bailey not to worry about it, but just then Adam Pearce intervenes. He suggests that Bailey and Zelina have a match right now. Roman Reigns, sweet. He was in a conversation with Jimmy Uso, questioning his actions. Jimmy explained he's trying to emulate Roman by making audibles in the ring. Roman, somewhat amused, asks if Jimmy thinks he is the quarterback and what he would do in that role. Jimmy mentions getting Jay, but Roman dismisses the idea of involving Jay, calling him old news and suggesting that Jay's championship run with Cody is a disservice to the bloodline. Roman firmly instructs Jimmy to stop calling audibles. They share a fist bump, indicating they're on the same page now. You know what? When you texted me that last night, I said, I am not fucking surprised, okay? I am not surprised whatsoever. Oh, my Christ. Moving on. Bailey versus Zelina Vega. The match quickly picked up pace. Bailey initially proposed to test the strength, but Zelina responded with a forearm strike. Vega goes for a wrist lock and delivers some kicks to Bailey's arm. Bailey tried to counter with a slam, but Vega sends her into the corner instead. Bailey blocks an arm drag attempt, but Vega springs into a wheelbarrow maneuvering tradition into an arm drag. Vega follows up with a forearms and a head scissors takedown, but Bailey regains control with a clothesline and an elbow drop, earning her a near fall. Bailey attempts a Bailey back suplex, but Vega escapes and kicks her. Vega executes a drop kick, sending Bailey into the ropes, and followed up with a 619. Vega proceeds to kick Bailey and ascends to the turnbuckles for a Meteora, getting another close 2 count. Vega signals for a code red, but Io gets on the apron to distract her in response. Vega kicks Io off the apron, but allows Bailey to capitalize with a knee strike to Vega, followed by a Rose Plant finisher for a 3 count. Bailey picks up the win. Then after the match, both Io and Bailey continue the attack on Vega. Charlotte Flair makes her way to the ring, a bit cautious in her heels, which, if they were going to have her sent out, why wasn't she wearing boots? Why wasn't she wearing boots or some sort of flats or some sort of she should have taken her fucking heels off first. She is not Rhea. Rhea could wear fucking goddamn 6-inch boots and fucking still kick ass and still say, bitch, now what? She is not fucking Rhea Ripley. Please have that woman dress appropriately if she's going to get into it in street clothes. These onesies are driving me bananas as well. She's one swift kick of a fucking split up the fucking ass. Anywho, as Bailey Bunches retreats from the scene, we have Triple H, known as Hunter Hearst Helmsley, makes his way to the ring, joining Adam Pearce, who's already present in the corner. Hunter addresses the crowd, acknowledging that the significant part of him misses the electric chants from the WWE Universe. Oh my God, he looked amazing. He looked like he could get back in for about 20 minutes. But please don't. We need him alive. We need people. I heed my warning. We need to put him in a bubble. We need to do whatever we need to do to give him the fountain of youth. Whatever youngness I have, I'm going to give to him. I'm going to sacrifice. I will look 90 for him to stay forever young and stay on this planet for 200 years. Now that's the guy that needs to be making the deal with the devil himself and getting infinity lives. I mean, seriously, we can sacrifice Vince McMahon. Seriously, it would be a great trade here. Anywho, moving on. He reflects on the excitement in the arena, mentioning that it might be time of the year, but it's just a successful Fastlane event. And now we're heading towards Crown Jewel and Survivor Series. Hunter emphasizes that it all begins right here tonight on the season premiere of SmackDown. Triple H takes an opportunity to shine a spotlight on unsung hero of WWE, Adam Pearce. He acknowledges that Adam, great career as an in-ring performer, but emphasizes his exceptional work as a WWE official over the last 3 years. Pearce has handed the challenges and tasks managing the both superstars of both Raw and SmackDown, overseeing both shows. Hunter extends his gratitude for Adam for outstanding job that he's done. Hunter reveals that no one's shoulders should this responsibility alone. And at the moment, Adam Pearce is being promoted to the position of general manager of Monday Night Raw. This announcement leads to unveiling of the general manager of SmackDown. Dominic Mysterio comes out and interrupts the expressing his concern about the recent events, such as the Judgment Day getting screwed out of their tag team titles at Fastlane, and Jay and Cody defending their titles tonight when the Judgment Day has the title match scheduled. He questioned Hunter's decision. Hunter pretends he can't hear Dom due to the loud crowd, and suggests Dom talks to the general manager, Nick Aldis, about his grievances. Nick Aldis enters the ring, shakes Hunter's hand, and expresses his gratitude for the opportunity to be in charge of the number one brand in sports entertainment. He hints at the potential competition between brands and introduces the newest member of the SmackDown roster, which is Dominic dismissively states that nobody cares and mentions that Cody and Jay are the problem he has to deal with. He threatens to smack the newest SmackDown superstar. However, Kevin Owens makes his way to the ring. He looks around and everybody, in a surprising twist, kicks Dominic and delivers a stunner, seemingly because Dom is not wearing a suit. Nick and Kevin shake hands, and others in the ring also exchange handshakes. Meanwhile, in Roman Reigns' suite, he becomes increasingly unhappy. He realizes that Kevin Owens is on his show, along with Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. Jimmy Uso is on the couch, and Roman questions why everyone is on his show, emphasizing that he calls the shots. He instructs Jimmy to run the play, and Jimmy leaves the suite with Solo, and we head to commercial break. Do you think the breakup with Damage Control? I'm tired of being... Bailey needs to get her flowers. She has done God's work since forming that team. And I think if they're going to do a multi-woman match for that title, Bailey needs to come out on top. And do not pin Io. We come back from commercial break. There's a spotlight on Dragon Lee, who expressed desire to show the world that he is a special talent in professional wrestling. Dragon Lee is now on SmackDown. Welcome aboard. That was quick. He freaking signed and he was like this. Oh my God. Hey, I'm not complaining at the freaking thing. Chelsea Green and Piper Niven are seen with Nick Aldis expressing concerns about the disposable curse of the tag team titles. Chelsea even suggests the idea of introducing in new belts to break the curse. No, we don't. It's fine. Deal with it. Nick mentions that he has meeting with Charlotte Flair and asks Piper Niven and Chelsea to leave. Before they go, Nick points out that he's watched the match at Fastlane and believes that if the referee hadn't been distracted, Chelsea might have not Chelsea, Charlotte might have become the champion. He announces next week Charlotte will face Io for the women's championship. So she gets another fucking opportunity. Great. Just fucking great. Man, that Charlotte in the Bank, really, seriously, it's not just a thing. It's a real fucking thing. Just as Nick finishes speaking, Charlotte Flair turns around and comes face to face with Jade Cargill. Hunter attempts to introduce Jade to Charlotte, but Charlotte interjects by stating that she already knows who Jade is. Jade offers polite greeting, and Charlotte walks away. I think she just saw her fucking replacement, and I think she's going to be better on the microphone because she's had time to practice so many times. The tension between the two female talent wrestlers is palatable as they cross paths on SmackDown. Main event time. This is main event. No, this is not main event. Which should have been, but Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes versus Austin Theory and Grayson Waller for the men's tag titles. The match goes underway. Cody Rhodes and Grayson Waller start things off. Cody begins with a follow-up, followed by a drop down uppercut. He follows up with a knee to Waller's midsection. Cody applies the wrist lock, but Waller counters with a kick and tags in Theory. Theory enters the ring posing confidently. Cody quickly takes Theory down with it and attempts to apply the figure four leg lock, but Theory manages to escape. Waller tags back in, and Cody maintains control with another wrist lock. Cody then tags in Jey Uso. Cody whips Waller into the corner and delivers a kick in the corner. Waller responds with a kick and a headbutt, but the Samoan head prevails over the Australian one. Waller rolls to the outside and tags in and executes a backbreaker. Fights back with punches, but Theory sends him to the apron. Jay tries to hold on, but Theory knocks him off the apron. We come back from commercial break. Austin Theory maintains control with a reverse chinlock on Jey Uso. Jay fights back with punches. Theory sends him to the mat by his hair. Theory kicks Jay in the corner and proceeds to choke him. Grayson Waller also gets involved, kicking Jay in the head, while Theory continues the assault. Waller tags in and Jay attempts to punch his way out of the corner. Theory rejoins the action with it and hits a knee followed by a backbreaker. Waller adds a springboard elbow drop for a near fall. Waller exchanged some words with Cody before refocusing on Jay. Jay manages to block and kick and lands a dragon whip. Cody and Theory both tag in. Cody takes control with a clothesline and back elbow followed by a running forearm. He floats over and hits a power slam on Theory. Delivers a beautiful disaster kick. Cody attempts crossroads, but Waller goes for a slingshot rolling cutter. However, Cody counters with and hits a beautiful disaster. Theory recovers and executes a fisherman neck breaker for a near fall. Jay intervenes with a super kick and knocks Waller off the apron and then delivers a super kick to Theory. Cody and Jay combine for the Cody Cutter 1D combination. Jay follows up with a suicide dive to Waller, leaving Cody to hit the crossroads on Theory for a 3 count. So they retain. Yep. Queen gets another title shot. Yeah. Because God forbid she goes and she doesn't bitch and complain because of a technicality. It's a triple threat match. There's no rules in a triple threat match. So this title match should have never been ever involved in it. It's that she wanted to fucking goddamn see what she could do with the new general manager to see if she could get stroke. And of course she's going to get stroke. Nick Aldis is a younger version of her father. Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman come out, and Roman confronts Cody face to face. However, Nick Aldis appears and tells them it's not happening tonight. The situation diffused, and we head to another commercial break. As we return from a commercial break, we have Solo Sikoa versus LA Knight. And the match begins with a lockup. And Solo backs Knight into the corner, but Knight responds with a series of punches. Solo sends Knight in the corner, and Knight blocks punch before delivering more strikes. Solo retaliates with a back elbow, but Knight manages to land on his feet after his suplex attempt and hits a neck breaker. Solo counters with a clothesline, and then Knight goes for a crossbody. Solo then attempts a slam, but Knight gets to his feet, preventing it. However, Knight struggles to lift Solo for a slam, and Solo takes advantage with a chop and an Irish whip. Knight counters with a boot to the face and a dropkick targeting Solo's knees and head. Knight follows up by clotheslining Solo over the top rope to the floor, then hitting a dropkick through the ropes. Knight sends Solo into the ringside barrier before rolling him back into the ring. Knight attempts to suplex Solo to the floor, but Solo blocks it and lands a punch to Knight's midsection. Solo then sends Knight crashing to the ring post, continuing their intense battle. We come back from commercial break. Solo has LA Knight in a nerve hold, applying pressure to try to wear his opponent down. Knight manages to get to his feet and start throwing punches at Solo. However, Knight tries to slam Solo. He collapses under Solo's weight, and Solo gets a near fall. Solo follows up with a belly suplex for another near fall and running hip into the corner. He punches Knight in the corner and delivers a headbutt. Solo then returns the nerve hold and try maintaining control. He's got to. If not, then why did he ever come back, Cody? Triple H, with Cody in his hands, I have a feeling he's going to do right. Hopefully, because I heard he'd never seen the fucking thing with the throne situation. I think somebody needs to bring that up to him. Because Triple H, I don't think has seen it, and what I've known that he hasn't seen it. So that should just be tongue in cheek, I think. So both Solo and Knight exchange punches, but Knight gains the advantage he unleashes. A fury of punches, and Solo strays on his feet. Knight follows up with a flying clothesline and a DDT. Knight continues the kicks and a running knee in the corner. Solo gets Knight up on his shoulders, but Knight escapes and hits a power slam. Knight sets up for a BFT, blunt force trauma finisher, but Solo manages to escape. However, just as the match reaches a critical point, Jimmy Uso runs out, attempting to interfere. John Cena arrives to stop Jimmy and hits an attitude adjustment on him. Solo Sikoa takes advantage and delivers a Samoan spike on Cena, but Knight recovers and hits a BFT on Solo for a 3 count, and LA Knight wins. After the match, Knight celebrates his victory as he comes off the turnbuckles. He's met with a spear from Roman Reigns. The show concludes, and Roman Reigns stands tall over Knight. Yeah, I'm kind of scared if he does, and he's gonna take out his like how can I say this? Not frustrations, but like some sort of like, I'm gonna get you back, motherfucker, his revenge. For the life of me, I couldn't fucking remember the word revenge. It was just it stuck. I was trying to get the damn fucking thing out, but it just wouldn't come out. On to Monday Night Raw. We have the Intercontinental Championship, Gunther versus Bronson Reed. Rhea Ripley versus Shayna Baszler. Falls Count Anywhere match, Ricochet versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Undisputed Tag Team Championship, Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso versus the Judgment Day, Damian Priest and Finn Balor. I'm just going to let you in on a little secret this on Tuesday morning. I couldn't wipe the smile off my pretty little face. I'm like, seriously, with this weather that we're having in New York, my allergies are going fucking nuts. I am exhausted. I have to go see my son tomorrow, which I have to get up at 3:00 at the fucking morning tomorrow on a Saturday to go visit him. And then I got to come back home, somehow cover Bound for Glory. I know, I just making fucking messes all times too. And tonight I have to stay up so I can get my groceries and watch SmackDown. So let's just be ducky all over the place. We start off with the opening of Raw. Sami Zayn comes out to the ring. Sami welcomes the audience to the season premiere of Raw. He says it feels a bit weird out here by himself. He says Owens has moved over to SmackDown and he has mixed emotions. He feels that his partnership has come to an end, but he's excited for Owens because he knows he will do great things on SmackDown. And he's always done great on his own. Sami, who says it's his chance to become something by himself, and prove that he's a world heavyweight champion superstar. He says the reason Owens is no longer on Raw is because of the arrival of Jey Uso. He says he's struggling to come to terms with that. Jey replaced Owens on Raw. He says after all the work they put in, their tag team title reign was ended by Judgment Day, and today they have a rematch. He says the last year of his career has been the best year yet because of the fans. Judgment Day comes out. Finn Balor says Judgment Day should kick off the season premiere of Raw. He says Sami is alone. Damian Priest says it feels like the one thorn has been removed. He says the only thing that would make them happier is removing Zayn and the tag team champs. He says he would be happier to remove. He would be also happy to remove Drew McIntyre. Rhea asks Priest if he could focus on tonight. Dominic says Rhea is going to beat Shayna Baszler. Rhea says Finn and Priest are going to bring back the titles to the Judgment Day. Rhea says Sami is looking lost. She says we want to get rid of him permanently and proceed to circle the ring. Jey comes out and with a couple of steel chairs to back off Judgment Day. A video package plays of Nakamura saying that he's going to smash Ricochet like a bug. So we're going to go right into that match. Owens by now should have nothing but classics. He is now on SmackDown. He can't wait. Yes, when he was going after Roman Reigns on his own, when Sami was in the bloodline, he was doing some really great work. And I'm talking that NXT type level work. And I'm looking forward to that. I would actually like to see him do business with LA Knight. I would like him to do business with a Grayson Waller. Who else? Austin Theory. It's going to be a great time for over there. And I'm glad, I'm glad that when they broke them apart, they didn't break apart Sami and Kevin. They were enemies. They hopefully are going to, like, if they ever have to work together, it's going to be back to like buddies again. So that's what I'm hoping. We come back from commercial break. Sami is walking backstage. Jey stops him and asks, "What's up?" Sami says, "I need a minute." He says he wants them to be good and he appreciates Jey helping him out. He says all he could think about is it should have been Owens helping him out. He says Jey has everything while he has neither of those because of him. Jey says Sami still has him and walks away. Sammy goes after him and apologizes to him. He says it's been a tough week for him and he's happy for Jay. They both hug it out. Shinsuke Nakamura comes out and and both came out. The match begins with Ricochet sends Nakamura out of the ring. He then chops him. He sends him into the ring. Nakamura comes back with an exploder suplex. Ricochet kicks Nakamura in the face and then sends Nakamura out of the ring and dives onto him. Cover 1-2 kick out. Nakamura drags Ricochet backstage. They brawl into the Gorilla's position, which I love. I love that shit. Ricochet with a jumping knee. Cover 1-2 kick out. The brawl spills onto the entrance stage. Ricochet knocks down Nakamura and he goes for a moonsault, but Nakamura gets his knees up. Ricochet comes back with a dragon screw and a shooting star press. We come back from commercial break. The fight has spilled into the crowd. Ricochet dives onto Nakamura. Nakamura sends Ricochet back to ringside area. He sends Ricochet into the barricade. Nakamura grabs the nunchucks and attacks Ricochet with it. Nakamura grabs a table from underneath the ring. Ricochet comes back with a jumping knee. He places him on a table. Nakamura rolls out of danger. He hits a GTS on Ricochet. Now I'm going to stop here and I'm going to make a little comment on this. USA said best in the world. So then they had to take the fucking comment down. Can we let USA know? Or WWE let them know what the hell is really going on? Because it would prevent them from fucking up like that. Just saying. Anywho, let's move on. Ricochet comes back with a jumping knee and places him on the table. I did that. So they do a cover 1-2 kick out. Nakamura goes for a Kinshasa, but Ricochet hits him with an enziguri. Ricochet is sent on the apron, but he kicks out. Nakamura kicks Nakamura. Ricochet with a 450 splash, cover 1-2 kick out. Ricochet climbs the top rope but is stopped. Nakamura knocks him off and Ricochet falls through the table. At ringside, Nakamura hits a Kinshasa for the win. Nakamura wins, and you know what? It was expected because if he was going to lose to Rollins, he was going to win with Ricochet. As I just said at the beginning of this, if he doesn't come back in 3 different instances, 1 at Survivor Series, 2 the Raw after Survivor Series, or 3 at the Royal Rumble, let's put it to bed, people, and let's move on. All right? If he wants to go to Impact, so be it. It's going to cost them an arm and a leg, but it is what it is. So Tegan Knox is talking backstage. Chelsea Green comes in and says Natalya should be her here to mentor her. Tegan asks her to go and annoy someone else. Green warns Tegan. Tegan asks how quickly she can run behind Piper. Green says they have things to do. So we have Piper Niven versus Natalya. Oh, Jesus Christ. Seriously, Natalya, please don't take your birth control. Get pregnant and we can not see you for a year and a half. We need a break from you. Seriously. So we have Piper Niven versus Natalya. We come back from commercial break. The match begins with Piper knocks down Natalya. Natalya sends Piper into the turnbuckles. She hits her with a dropkick. Natalya slams her face into the turnbuckles. Piper sends Natalya outside the ring. Come back from commercial break. Niven goes for a senton and misses. Natalya hits her with a dropkick. She hits a clothesline. Natalya is shoved into Chelsea Green. Niven knocks her down and hits her with a basement crossbody for the win. I'm happy that Piper Niven won this match. I mean, come on. For the love of God, Natalya, I'm sorry she's cringe. She was cringe from before. She's cringe now. she's a great professional wrestler, but please do me a favor. Don't give her a speaking role. She is not her father. She is not her brother. I mean, her uncles. Oh, for the love of God. That's one thing she didn't inherit. It's the fucking goddamn use of the mic. Give her a fucking manager or something. For the love of God, please. And the thing with CM Punk, I'm telling you, you're 3 strikes and you're fucking out with me. Yes, I just did a fucking baseball reference. It's the time of the year. It's nauseating. I'm scared for her to open her mouth. And the way she's acting on television, she's not a good actress whatsoever. I mean, for Christ's sakes, I know why she can't take time off. It's because of the whole situation with that she's the new Bret Hart. She's the new cash cow of the Hart family. You think Davey Boy Smith Jr. is taking that lead role prominent in Natalia? So she can't go have kids. I mean, if she can't have kids, I'm sorry. If she physically cannot have kids and she was told she can't have kids, I apologize for that. I'm so sorry about that. But don't you want to have children of your own? I mean, doesn't TJ want to have a son or a daughter? I mean, unless they made the decision that they don't want kids, so be it. But please, go do something else. What are you going to do in 10 years where you may not be able to compete in the ring, you know? She's younger than me. So she'll be like in her late 40s. Is she going to keep on doing this? Who knows? Anywho, let's move on. So then after that match, Piper and Chelsea attack Natalia. Tegan Knox's music comes up and she comes out and she basically helps Natalia out of the whole situation. So we're probably going to see for the tag team titles, Natalia and Tegan Knox versus Niven and Green. Judgment Day is backstage. Priest says he wanted JD to get beat up last week. He says tonight they need to take out McIntyre. Dominic says Rhea says no one should bother about Drew. Rhea comes in and tells them she handles Judgment Day business and she will handle Drew. Balor asks if she's ready for Shayna Baszler. Rhea said she will remind the women's division that she's always on top, and they remind everyone who runs Raw. Rhea then walks away, and we go out to Seth freaking Rollins after the commercial break. Now, I'm going to tell you this. There was a part where she goes fist bumps everybody, and then she goes and she touches Dominic's chin, and then they share some sort of look, and then fucking Damian, I swear to Christ, he's got to stop hanging out with Triple H because this is a fucking goddamn influence by Triple H. So then he goes and he looks at Dominic, and Dominic is sitting there like, yeah, I'm going to tap that shit. And fucking Reese says, easy there. Take it easy. And I'm like, oh, for the love of Jesus. And theoretically, fucking Damian Priest could be Dominic's father. I mean, theoretically, I'm like maybe 6 months older than Damian Priest. I'm 41, going to be 42. I know I don't look like it. I don't look like a day over 30. I know. Thank you, people. But you do the math. So I'm 41. He's 26. So you do the math. I could be his mother. That makes things a lot more complicated when it comes to liking him in a certain way. And I feel very cougarish, you know, but it is what it is. I mean, but theoretically, that could be his dad. Theoretically, I just find that hilarious. And fucking at that point, fucking Triple H could be his grandfather. Oh, fuck, I know. I just fucking went there, but of course it's me. I'm going to hell. I'm going to hell. Oh my God. Oh, I love those segments. It's like every time that they do something like that, I'm picturing at home, Buddy Murphy or Buddy Matthews is sitting on the bed or sitting in their computer room or office, whatever, and he's just sitting there staring at and doing this. Every time they pose for a picture together or something like that, and it's like trying to one up Dominic. Dominic just takes it to another level. Like, what the fuck do I have to do to assert my dominance over fucking Dominic Mysterio? I am loving this because this is something that you're thinking like, where are they coming up with this? And it's great. It's just great television, and I love a good freaking romance. And okay, I watched soap operas when I was younger. This just took the place of it. Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, the things I would let Dominic do to me would get me arrested in 50 states. Anywho, moving on to Seth Rollins. So Seth Rollins has a new number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship, Drew McIntyre. He says Drew told him he wanted him at 100%, but he didn't do a thing when he got jumped by Damian Priest. He then says Drew stopped Dominic from coming out with the Money in the Bank briefcase. He said he's got a lot of questions and Drew is the only one who can answer them. He invites McIntyre out to the ring, so he goes out to the ring. And Drew says he's not going to babysit him for the next couple of weeks. Rollins says he can handle his own business. He asks whether Drew is handling his own business on his own or if he has enlisted some help. Drew says he's handling his own business. Rollins asked for the video to be rolled, which shows Drew talking to Rhea Ripley. He asks him to elaborate. Drew says Rhea came to him and what they talked about was none of his business. He says Rollins needs to worry about him. Rollins says the last couple of years messed with his head and he has a lot of big failures, and now he enlists Judgment Day to help him out. Rollins says dealing with Judgment Day is a slippery slope. He doesn't want to go down. Drew says Rollins should be rattled because he beat Rollins in their last world title match. Rollins asks him to move on from the bloodline. Rollins tells him to get over it. Drew says Rollins has 1,000 of people singing his song, but he doesn't need a catchy theme song. He said when he won the world title, there was no one there. He stepped up. He was screwed by the bloodline last year, but now he's going to beat Rollins and take his title. Rollins says nobody understands what he's going through more than him. He says spent 4 years to get back to the top, but is hearing from Drew a bunch of excuses. He says he's going to beat Drew at Crown and Jewel he's going to beat Drew at Crown Jewel, and he will have no one to blame but himself. Interesting. Maybe not, We go into Ludwig Kaiser versus Johnny Gargano. And we start the match where Gargano kicks Kaiser and sends him out of the ring. Gargano hits a suicide dive on Kaiser and rolls out of the ring. Kaiser comes back with a knee to the midsection and he sends Gargano into the post and hits him with a drop kick. Gargano is knocked down on the apron and then hits him with an uppercut, knocking him off the apron. We come back from commercial. Kaiser goes to work on Gargano. Gargano sends Kaiser into the turnbuckle. Gargano rolls him Gargano rolls him into the kick. He attacks him and in the corner and hits a slingshot spear. Gargano plants Kaiser. Gargano sets him up in the corner and hits a super kick. Cover 1-2 kick out. Kaiser comes back with a Death Valley driver and follows it up with a kick. Cover 1-2 kick out. Kaiser is sent out of the ring. Vinci goes to check on him but yells at him. Gargano hits Widow's Bell and follows up with one final beat. Cover 1-2 kick, but Vinci pokes Gargano in the eye. Gargano attacks Vinci. Kaiser kicks Gargano and plants him for the win. And Ludwig Kaiser picks up the very, very important win. Becky Lynch is walking backstage and runs into Indy Hartwell, who asks for an opportunity to face her for the title. Lynch says she will talk to Pierce about it. Lynch then runs into Rhea Ripley. They have a stare down before Rhea walks away. Why the fuck she asking Pierce? That's not Pierce's title. That's under not his jurisdiction. Shouldn't she be asking Shawn Michaels? I mean, he is the unofficial fucking general manager of NXT. I mean, come on. Logic here. Come back from commercial break. Drew runs into Sammy. He says he needs to talk to Sammy, and he says he has stepped up as a leader after leaving the bloodline. But he says he can't buy that Jay has changed. Sammy tells him to move on from the bloodline. He's putting the bloodline behind, and he said putting the bloodline behind him can be hard. Drew says Sammy can't relate because he has never won the world championship, never been a world champion, and he will never be a world champion. Sammy says Drew can find out what level he is on next week. Drew accepts. So I am liking this whole situation that we're getting ready for next week so we know what the hell is going on. Fucking Vince McMahon fucking goes to social media at fucking 5 o'clock telling us, oh, we have this match, we have that match. We don't need that. We need to keep promoting it all fucking week. Like on USA. Oh, tune into Raw tonight or tune into Raw on Monday. You could see Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn. We need to be notified. And not be left out in the fucking cold, like with our units hanging out. I mean, come on. So we have Shayna Baszler versus Rhea Ripley. So Rhea goes out and does a promo. She says everyone wants a part of her. She says even Nia came back to get rid of her, but didn't work out well for her. She says the women's division tried to prove that they are tough, but the reality is it is her division, and she will always be on top. She get on top of me, please. Please pin me the way you pin all your opponents. Pretty please, I beg of you. I'll be a good girl. Yes, I will. I'm going to hell. I'm going to hell. I'm going to hell. Yes, I am. So this match begins with Rhea takes down Baszler. Shayna comes back and attacks the arm of Rhea. Rhea comes back with a dropkick cover 1-2 kick out. Rhea hits her with a clothesline. Both women exchange strikes. Shayna hits Rhea with a German suplex, cover 1-2 kick out. Shayna attacks Rhea with a knee strike. Rhea hits Shayna with a missile dropkick, goes for the riptide, but Shayna goes for an armbar. Rhea powers out of it. Nia Jax comes out. Raquel comes and attacks Nia from behind. Zoe Starks jumps on Nia. A brawl breaks out ringside. Raquel attacks Zoe and kicks Nia. She then goes for a shoulder block but catches the steel steps. Starks kicks Rhea, ending the match. Rhea throws Starks into Shayna. So we have a winner, Rhea Ripley, via disqualification. Vince was mentally broken after. Yes. Ari Emanuel is the new god of wrestling. He proclaimed Mr. Levesque as the creator. I'm one happy bitch. After this melee, Nia goes to attack Rhea, but Zoe and Rhea attack her, and she rolls out of the ring. Becky is talking to Adam Pearce, and he makes her match with Indy official. Xia Li walks and asks for a match. Lynch asks her to say the word. Lee says she will on her time. Jade walks, and Lynch asks her to get in line. So we have Charlotte, and now we have Becky. We better have an interaction with Io and Rhea. Just saying. Intercontinental Championship, Gunther versus Bronson Reed. Before this match started, we had an interview backstage with Jackie, Cody Rhodes, and Jey Uso. Jay says Sammy has a lot going on, but he has his back. Cody says tonight is about maximizing opportunity. He says Judgment Day wants to own Raw, but they have have a talented roster. He says Judgment Day is the right challenger for them tonight. No shit. So we go finally to the Intercontinental title match. The match begins with Gunther kicks Reed multiple times. Reed comes back and knocks down Gunther. Reed attacks Gunther in the corner. Gunther rolls out of the ring. He chops Reed and dives onto the apron. Gunther sends him into the ring. Reed drives Gunther in the corner, but locks in the sleeper hold. Reed with a piggyback slam. He climbs on the top rope, but Gunther stops him. Reed slams him on the apron, and we go to commercial break. We come back. Both men exchange strikes. Reed with a super kick and then hits a power slam. Cover 1-2 kick out. Reed plants Gunther. Cover 1-2 kick out. Gunther knocks down Reed. Cover 1-2 kick out. Reed hits a suplex on Gunther. Cover 1-2 kick out. Reed goes for a tsunami and misses. Gunther hits a drop kick and follows it up with a clothesline. He then hits a splash, cover 1-2 kick out. Gunther hits a power bomb and retains. And that is who was the next victim for Gunther. So we go back to Jackie again, and she interviews The Miz, who says that he's the most must-see WWE superstar. And he should have started the show with him. He mocks Sami Zayn. He says Pierce should be fired and Nick Aldis should take over as Raw GM. Nia Jax interrupts and says everybody has hit her with their best shot, but she's still standing. She says she hits everyone and they stay down. She then hands the mic to Miz and walks away. Jackie says they're out of time. So she hits Becky Lynch, but she still gets up. Nia, remember what happens and what you say. Doesn't make sense. Go back to the history. Come on. We come back from commercial break. Adam Pearce is on the phone and he's interrupted by Rhea Ripley, who asks him to get the women's division in order. Pearce says she wants to make a statement. She could do it at Crown Jewel in a fatal 5-way match. Rhea says she will eradicate them all. Indashare works in and needs to talk. Alpha Academy is backstage. Gable says they're going after the Intercontinental and Tag Team Championship. The New Day walks in, says if they're talking about tag titles, then they are talking about them. Gable suggests they have a match next week. No, I don't want a match with these two. Oh. We go to the tag team title match. But before that, we have Gunther runs into the rest of Imperium backstage. And he appreciates them for tonight. And he says Vinci didn't fulfill his responsibility. Vinci says he helped Kaiser win. Gunther says he expects him to make sure Gargano is stretched out of the arena next week. Stretchered out next week. So we go to the tag team title match. So the match begins with Cody with a gutbuster to Balor. He tags out and Jay attacks Balor. Priest tags in and sends Jay out of the ring. Priest sends him into the ring and kicks him. Priest attacks Jay in the corner and tags out. Priest tags back in. Balor with a backbreaker and Priest hits a leg drop, cover 1-2 kick out. Jay comes back with an enziguri. He tags out and Cody attacks Priest with an uppercut. He hits Priest with he hits Priest and Balor with a power slam. Rhodes with a disaster kick on Priest. Cover 1-2 kick out. Dominic comes out to distract Cody. Jay super kicks Balor and Priest. Cody hits a crossroads. Cover 1-2. Dominic places his foot on the ropes. Cody goes for Dominic while Balor tags in and hits Cody with a clothesline. Come back from commercial break. Cody hits the pedigree, which I find fucking weird to see him using that. The only other person that uses the pedigree in WWE is Seth Rollins, but he was kind of like commissioned, like Aramania Samananina on the name and by the man himself, Triple H. But that's not, and I know I just did that. I'm sorry. Cody hits a pedigree. Both men tag out, and Jay attacks Balor. He hits him with a Samoan drop. Jay kicks Balor in the head and goes for a crossbody on Balor. Balor comes back with a reverse DDT. Jay super kicks Balor and then hits Cody for a 1D, cover 1-2 kick out. Cody goes for a suicide dive, but Priest catches him and hits a clothesline on the apron. Jay climbs to the top rope, but Dominic distracts him. He goes for a splash, but Balor gets his knees up. Dominic argues with the referee. Sami Zayn comes out and attacks Dominic. He sends him into the steel steps. Priest sends Zayn into the post, and Cody sends Priest into the crowd. Balor knocks Rhodes off the apron. Balor and Jay knock each other down. Priest low blows Cody. He then hits a razor's edge on Rhodes through the table. Jay dives onto Priest. Balor with a sling blade in the ring. He then hits a shotgun dropkick. Balor goes for the coup de grace and misses. Jay spears him. Then hits a spear on Priest. Jimmy super kicks Jay. Balor hits a coup de grace on Balor for the win. And the winner and new tag team champions is the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest. So that is that. And my nose cannot stop running. And I think I'm going to have to take a fucking Benadryl because I'm sick and tired of my nose running so badly. And my allergies are kicking my ass. So I'm taking a Benadryl on air. I'm sorry. I can't deal with this crap. Fuck when I have my allergies. So if I fall asleep in the middle of this, you'll understand why I just took a Benadryl. So that is that. Now we're going to move on to AEW. And please remember, while you're here, please like, share, subscribe, and turn on the bell for all notifications. So when I go live or upload anything, you'll know about it. Please go check me out on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, X, and I'm on Cameo. So go check all that out. I have to somehow see if I could do some editing with the description so I can maybe upload all my links to my social media. If I can't, it'll be on the next video. So it is what it is. So now let's go to AEW, and then hopefully I can get you out of here before 4:30. I'm hoping. Oh my God, I am in so much agony right now. Oh my God, this is insane. I feel like I have a cold, which I don't have a cold. It's ridiculous. I'm sick of it, you know? So, if I'm not mistaken, I think next week they're going to be doing head-to-head with, what is it called? SmackDown, I think either Collision or Rampage, whatever the case may be. So let's look out for that. Couldn't find my freaking notes for Rampage. I apologize. Rampage was coming from the Cable Dharma Arena in Independence, Missouri. I think that's where it is. We started off with Angela Parker, Matt Menard, and Jake Hager versus Brother Zay and the Hardys. Garcia grappled with Brother Zay to the mat. Zay fired back with an arm drag and a drop kick. Matt tagged in and Matt Hardy tagged in and dropped an elbow on Garcia. Jeff tagged in and hit a diving splash on Garcia. After Parker distracted Brother Zay, Garcia nailed Zay with a running forearms. Angela Parker and Matt Menard whipped Garcia into Brother Zay in the turnbuckles. Brother Zay blasted Garcia with a cutter and tagged out Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy cleared the ring and hammered away on Parker. Matt followed up with a powerbomb on Parker for a near fall. Garcia was about to do his dance, but Matt Menard tagged himself and scolded Garcia. After Hardy tagged in and clobbered Angela Parker with a clothesline, Jeff followed up with a basement dropkick. Matt Menard ran to break up Jeff's pin attempt on Parker. Angelo Parker ran in, but Matt caught him with a side effect. Brother Zay splashed Parker in poetry in motion. Jeff Hardy went up top for a swanton, but Jake Hager knocked Jeff off his balance. Inside the ring, Daniel Garcia spiked Brother Zay with a DDT and pinned him. Matt Menard stormed off and left the ring after seeing Garcia dance again. That dance is a little obnoxious. It needs to be done at a certain time. Seriously. So there was footage shown from Dynamite. Renee Paquette tried to interview Penta Elzbieta Miano, who was with Alex Abrahantes. Renee was asking for an update on Rey Fenix's condition when Penta was interrupted by Bullet Club Gold. Ahead of their match on Wednesday on Dynamite, Switchblade Jay White and Penta had 0 fears and 0 belts. Penta Elzbieta Miano called Jay White a thief for stealing the AEW World title. After the commercial break, Renee Paquette interviewed Daniel Garcia, Angela Parker, Matt Menard, and Jake Hager. Renee said she sensed some tension among them. Matt, great team victory tonight, but I can't stand Garcia's dancing. Parker told Menard, chill out because the dancing got it done tonight. Hager, enough. We won, boys. Squash this. Menard, you want me to squash this? Everybody needs to squash it. Matt Menard stormed off. Jay Lethal with the Motley Crew. I'm going to call their fucking crew the Motley Crew because they're fucking morons. I cannot believe I am seeing Karen Jarrett on my television in 2023. She needs to be at home doing whatever the fuck she's doing. Probably sending another fucking husband to the fucking rehab, okay? Kurt, I'm so glad you're not married to this bitch. And I know she's the mother of your children, but for the Christ's sakes, the woman that you married, mwah, chef's kiss. So Jay Lethal versus Trent Beretta. Lethal got jumped on Trent. Lethal looked into the camera and told Eddie Kingston he was going to be the next ROH world champion. Trent smashed Lethal with a double knees. Lethal scoop slammed Trent. Lethal was looking for a figure 4, but Trent countered and ground and pound Lethal. Trent looked down Lethal with a Hurricane Rana and followed up with a thrust kick. Trent went for a running crossbody press, but Lethal ducked. Trent momentum sent him crashing into the ropes. Trent speared Lethal outside the ring. Jay Lethal ran the knee of Trent into the steel ring post. Trent wiped out Lethal with a pasado, but Trent came up with clutching his knee. Trent nailed Lethal with a German suplex. Trent hit a second German suplex. Lethal was looking for a lethal injection, but Trent countered with a half and half for a near fall. Lethal locked on the figure 4 in the center of the ring. Lethal clocked Trent with a thrust kick to Trent's face. Lethal countered a rolling elbow with a jumping knee strike to Lethal. Jay Lethal kicked the back of Trent's knee, followed up with lethal injection to pin Trent Beretta. Ortiz was backstage with harsh words for Mike Santana, saying Santana stood next to him for years but never stood with him. Santana walked onto the scene where you for the past 14 months after my surgery. Where were you? Ortiz holding you up. Santana, I'm going to end you. Sky Blue versus Emi Sakura. Sky Blue seems a little like she's turning dark. So could she be joining the House of Black with Julia Hart? We don't know, but it would be a great addition, said Paul White. I'm sure it has something to do with Julia Hart, what Julia Hart did to her, said Tony Schiavone. Sky Blue tried to cradle Emmy, but Emmy stomped on Blue. Emmy dumped Sky Blue over the top rope. Emmy charged at Sky Blue and crushed her against the steel ring steps. Emmy Sakura chopped away at Sky Blue. Sakura charged at Sky, but Sky got her boots up. Followed up with a DDT for a near fall. Sakura countered the Sky fall by chomping on Sky's hand. Sakura nailed Sky Blue with a backbreaker. Sky Blue nailed Emmy with a thrust kick and pinned Emmy after Cold Blue. And that was that. Main event time. Blackpool Combat Club. Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta versus the Mogul Embassy, Gates of Agony, Bishop Khan and Toa Leona. If I fuck up your names, I'm sorry for the fucking in advance. Wheeler Yuta grappled Bishop to the mat with a deep hammerlock. Bishop Khan fought out and shoved Yuta in the corner. Turnbuckles. Wheeler Yuta slapped him. Yuta scoop slammed Khan and squashed him with a senton. Claudio tagged in and smashed Khan with a double foot stomp. Yuta tagged back in, but Bishop Khan shoved Yuta into a stiff elbow from Toa Leona. Bishop Khan whipped Yuta back and forth into the turnbuckles. Claudio clobbered Tona with a European uppercuts. Claudio tried for a neutralizer, but Leona back dropped out of it. Claudio was looking for a giant swing, but Bishop Khan had a blind tag and blindsided Claudio. Claudio put Khan in the giant swing, and then Yuta drop kicked Khan in the head. Prince Nana jumped into the ring, and Claudio chased him out and to the back. Inside the ring, Yuta was isolated. Khan smashed Yuta with a double underhook facebuster, but Yuta kicked out at 2. Wheeler Yuta chopped away at Gates of Agony, and the Gates planted Yuta and Toa covered him, but Yuta kicked out. Claudio ran back to the ring and cleaned house on the Gates. Yuta climbed to the top turnbuckle, and Claudio threw him with a fastball special, and Yuta pinned Bishop Khan. What a showcase of Wheeler Yuta's heart tonight. So impressed with that young man, said Paul White. So that was that. Now we're going to move on to Collision. I don't know what's going on, but the attendance is really doing not Tony Khan justice. I'm telling you, Tony Khan needs to put his fucking phone down, give it to somebody, and allow them to tweet. He does not need to be running his own social media. He's getting himself into a lot of trouble with that. And he's making his company look like morons. I love AEW. I'm a full supporter of AEW, but Jesus Christ, holy shit, my 18-year-old autistic son could act better than he is. He's having a fucking meltdown. So we're going to the Huntington Center in Toledo, Ohio. Toledo. I will always reference to Maxwell Klinger from MASH. Yes, I'm showing my age, and I don't give a fuck. So we started off with Collision with Adam Copeland. This week on Dynamite, Christian Cage had a whole lot of things to say in his deluded mind. I think he actually believes them. I had to come out here to address what he had to say. Christian Cage music began to play. The TNT champion walked out to the ramp with Nick Wayne, Luchasaurus, and a team of AEW security. Christian Cage, you got a lot of nerve, and you really proved my point. You really think you're that special, huh? You walk out here on Collision, my show, By the way, take up this opening segment while I'm in the main event. That doesn't sit right with me. So I brought my security detail out here because I'm sure you're upset with what I said. But the security is for your protection, not mine. I'm going to cut to the chase here. Why don't you nicely step out of that ring, walk up the ramp, and hit the bricks? Because you see what's going to happen if you stick around much longer here in AEW. It's going to be like you're from Toledo, Ohio, because it's nothing like you've been known for nothing. So get the step in. I have my security team remove you, just like I had the BCC escorted from the arena, so there won't be any funny business tonight with Brian Danielson. I want a straight up fight with Brian Danielson, and I know that it's not going to happen if you're here and they're here. I'm going to prove what I have known all along as TNT champion. I'm without a doubt the best wrestler in the world. The American Dragon, Brian Danielson, walked out to the ramp. Danielson, whoa, whoa, whoa. You know, Christian Cage, I'm happy to hear that you want a fair fight tonight because I've got some news. I've talked to Tony Khan and interest of having a fair fight. Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne have been barred from ringside. And now we're going to find out between you and I who is the best, who the better man is, and who deserves to be TNT champion. Absolute Ricky Starks and Big Bill, the new AEW Tag Team Champions, walked down to the ring next. Ricky, no. I'm looking at a bunch of guys who are taking up my time and Big Bill's time. So excuse me for breaking up this little bash here. I will be damned if I let it go any longer. And truthfully speaking, I have no respect for you, Adam Copeland. I have no respect for you, Brian. I have respect for you, Christian, the only AEW champion who stands in this ring until, well, right now. Ricky Starks stepped into the ring. Ricky Starks, Brian Danielson, I don't know. I think I forgot about the things I had to do to deal with you and the BCC and all the other crap. The difference between you and me, Brian, I'm actually a real AEW champion. So if you don't like what I said, how about you guys get with me and my friends and we could do the damn thing right now. If it's a fight you're looking for. FTR, Cash Wheeler, and Dax Hardwood walked to the ring next. Cash Wheeler, 7 days ago, AEW Medical gave me the option. They said we didn't have to go out to defend the titles because we are all banged up. But the show must go on, so we defend the titles. Obviously, that was a wrong choice, but doesn't make you, Ricky and Bill, the best tag team on the planet. That's reserved for us, FTR. So maybe we don't get an immediate rematch. That's fine. We will earn a rematch. But the titles or not, we gotta now we're coming for those necks. Dax Hardwood, everybody is banged up. We all got to work, and we made decisions last week. One night only. You were better than FTR. And I heard you and your friends want to fight. And Saturday night, all right for fight in Toledo. Danielson. And speaking of that, Christian Cage, why don't you and I do our match right now? Security charged at Danielson, Copeland, and FTR. Luchasaurus, Nick Wayne, and Christian Cage hightailed out of the ring, and Danielson, Copeland, and FTR cleaned house on the security. Our first match, Ring of Honor World TV Championship match, Samoa Joe versus Willie Mack. Willie tried a shoulder block on Samoa Joe, and Joe didn't budge. Samoa Joe ran into Willie Mack and knocked him off his feet. Samoa Joe jabbed at Willie Mack in the corner turnbuckles. Willie Mack fired off the ropes with a leg lariat. He connected with a plancha on Samoa Joe. Willie crushed Samoa Joe with a cannonball in the corner. Samoa Joe booted Willie and splashed him with a running senton for a near fall. Samoa Joe power slammed Willie Mack for a 2 count. Willie nailed Joe with a cutter in the center of the ring for a near fall. Willie climbed to the top for a 6-star splash, but Samoa Joe countered with a muscle buster. Samoa covered Willie and pinned him. So he retained. Lexi Nair was backstage with hot and flexible CJ Perry. All right, we don't need that. All right, just come up with another nickname for yourself. Jesus Christ. CJ Perry. I would ask my future clients if they ever sat on the side and they felt like someone else is getting the spotlight. If you feel that way, I know exactly how you feel. That's the story of my life. And I'm here to help guide people in AEW. So if you're in the locker room and you want to become champion, come find the woman that makes that. Action Andretti walked onto the set. Action. CJ, I've got to say, I feel like I could benefit from having someone like you guide and manage me. And I'm just one phone call away. If you don't know, now you know. I'm Action Andretti. CJ, nice to meet you. Can't wait to get that call. I mean, for the love of God, she basically she said she never will open an OnlyFans, but Jesus Christ, she might as well. I mean, she's showing the goods. I mean, I follow her on Instagram. For the love of God, it's like a stone throws away. Just open the fucking thing. But I forgot, Miro won't allow it. Juice Robertson, rock hard, Juice Robertson versus Christopher Daniels. Daniels took Juice Daniels took down Juice with an arm drag. CD applied the pressure on Juice. Juice rocketed Daniels into the ropes throat first. Juice charged at Daniels with a stiff elbow shot. Juice jabbed at a fallen angel. Juice followed up with a standing senton for a near fall. Daniels suplexed Juice and hit Juice with an STO. Daniels smashed Juice with a high angle Death Valley driver. Daniels tried for angel wings, but Juice shoved Daniels into the turnbuckles. Juice crushed CD with a running cannonball. Juice planted Daniels and pinned him. The Juice is on the loose. Juice Robinson now sets his sights on the Wednesday nights as part of the Dynamite Diamond Battle Royal, who will go on to face MJF for the Dynamite Diamond ring, said Tony Schiavone. Jay White versus Penta El Zero Miedo as well, added Kevin Kelly. After the match, Switchblade Jay White placed a ring on Juice's finger. The Guns held up Christopher Daniels, and Juice clocked Daniels with a lethal left hand. Juice Robinson, MJF, you think you're the only man in the world who can knock a guy out with a ring on his fist. I've been knocking losers out like you for years with nothing on his hand. In fact, the ring I got from TJ Maxx. It ain't the ring when it comes to the stray bullet. It's the left hand I got. I don't need anything on it. Wednesday, after I win your battle royal, I'm going to take that ring from you, Max, and we're going to take the trip to the local pawn shop. And we're going to pawn that, and the Bang Bang Gang will go on vacation. Switchblade, Jay White. Look, Max, when you wonder why this is all happening to you, you have one boy to blame. That is MJF. You see, MJF, you brought this all on yourself when you jumped me from behind in your devil mask with your paid off Grim Squad, because we all know you have no friends. So now your world is falling apart. It starts when Juice takes your precious little ring, and it culminates at Full Gear when Your world crumbles when I'm officially crowned the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Guns up. Dustin Rhodes. Well, we have a problem because I am the storm. The natural Dustin Rhodes is coming back to Texas where he belongs. And Dustin Rhodes today in 2023 is as good as he's ever been. And this Wednesday, I'm coming to win the Dynamite Diamond Battle Royal. And when MJF, I'm coming for the Dynamite Diamond Ring, but more importantly, a chance for a lifelong dream of mine to become an AEW World Heavyweight Champion. My path to glory starts with this Wednesday night on TBS, where it all began, where legends live forever. What is he trying to do? His brother's gimmick? I mean, come on, it's like ridiculous. Retire already, Jesus Christ! Give this should be for a younger buck right now. Anyway, whatever. Lexi Nair was backstage with Nick Wayne. Lexi informed him that this Wednesday he could have a sit down with interview with Jim Ross and also his mother. Nick Wayne, a sit down interview with my mom for what? The whole world wants to know what I did to Darby Allin, and apparently my mom wants to know. That I guess they can find out on Dynamite. Aussie Open, Kyle Fletcher versus Iron Savage's Boulder. Boulder shoved Fletcher to the mat. Fletcher applied a side headlock. Fletcher clubbed Boulder with forearms. Boulder pressed slammed Kyle Fletcher. Fletcher rocked Boulder with a leg lariat, knocking Boulder to the arena floor. Fletcher flew over the top rope with a dive onto Boulder. Kyle Fletcher powerbombed Boulder from the top rope. Fletcher locked on the Dragon Sleeper and made Boulder tap out. Interesting with the Dragon Sleeper, said Tony Schiavone. Renee Paquette was backstage with AEW World Trios Champion The Acclaim and Daddy Ass. Do I have to go through this fucking again? Ever since they took the titles off of the House of Black, the fucking trios titles are nothing. At least when they were on the House of Black, they meant something. With the Acclaim, they're a bunch of jokes. And you know what? They have the fucking Pepto-Bismol fucking titles. Yes, I said it. Billy Gunn, we have been trios champions for 48 days. Max Caster, I hope MJF sees all the hard work we've been putting in. Billy Gunn, we have to work on your relationship skills because they're absolutely rotten. Anthony Bowens, the Twitter stuff is a bit aggressive. We can make friends and we can help you make friends. Billy and Anthony coached Carter with a few pointers and told him to try them on Renee for practice. Caster and Renee asked Renee about oral sessions and totally offended her. Matt Menard, Angela Parker, Daniel Garcia, and Jay Kager crashed the interview. Menard, real smooth, idiot. Parker, MJF thinks you're an absolute loser. Menard, how about Memphis? Put those titles on the line and we're getting a taste of the title. Caster, we'll see you in Memphis. Oh, for the love of God, please take the titles off of them there. Please, just take them off. It would be great. Just fucking great. TBS Championship match. Chris Statlander versus Sky Blue. Sky Blue's demeanor has changed since Julia Hart blew mist in her eyes. Blue grabbed a handful of Chris's hair. Sky Blue cracked Chris with a back elbow. Sky Blue nailed Chris with a neck breaker across the ropes. Chris fired back with a Blue Thunder Bomb for a near fall. Blue planted Chris with a satellite DDT for a 2 count. Blue hit an avalanche powerbomb. Blue jumped off the top rope with a crossbody, but Statlander countered with a power slam. Blue rocked Chris with thrust kicks. Statlander caught Blue with a Saturday Night Fever and pinned Sky Blue. Statlander tried to tried to help Sky Blue after the match. Sky Blue slapped Chris away. Chris's hand away. Willow Nightingale sprinted to the ring to try to talk some sense into Sky Blue. Could she be joining? Could she be joining? If she is, I'm the one that said it. Kyle Fletcher was backstage. Kyle Fletcher. First off, I want to send some well wishes to Mark Davis, but saying that Davis being out gives me an opportunity to prove that on my own 2 feet, I'm the best professional wrestler in the world, one of the best professional wrestlers in the world. There is a man in this company that I consider to be the measuring stick. This Wednesday, I'm calling out you, Kenny Omega. I will prove that I'm one of the best with or without someone in my corner. Limitless Keith Lee versus Outrunners Turbo Floyd. Who is Keith Lee? Does anybody remember a Keith Lee? The only one that I can remember is back in NXT where he was legitimately throwing Adam Cole into like the 18th row in NXT. That's the only one that I can remember. Is this the same guy? Beats me. Shane Taylor, Lee Moriarty. Speaking of Lee Moriarty, I want to congratulate Lee Moriarty and Julia Hart on their wedding. Congratulations to the lovely couple. Of Shane Taylor Promotions had an interesting, vested interest watching the match on the monitor backstage. Keith Lee threw Floyd over his head. Lee pounced on Turbo Floyd. Keith Lee powerbombed Floyd and pinned him. Very quick, very easy, painless. The Redeemer, Miro, was backstage with some thought-provoking words and actions. Miro, last few weeks I've been testing with my wife being around, but I know what's going to happen now that she's here because evil seduces you under bright lights. So now she'll be surrounded by all things that she loves. This will be a warning. I am willing to destroy every man to protect that one woman. This is the promise of the Redeemer. Miro threw Action Andretti to the ground. Ruh-roh. Main event time. TNT Championship match. Christian Cage versus the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. Danielson worked over Cage in a bow and arrow submission move. Danielson whipped Christian Cage into the steel barricade. Danielson followed up with a running dropkick. Danielson threw Cage back into the ring and worked on Cage's knee. Cage charged at Danielson, but Danielson backdropped Cage out of the ring. Danielson sprinted at Cage looking for a tope suicida, but Cage countered with a massive uppercut. What a smart move by the TNT champion, said Jim Ross. Danielson tried to suplex Christian off the ring apron, but Christian kicked Danielson and shoved him into the ring post. Christian Cage planted Danielson with a hammerlock slam on the apron right on Danielson's surgically repaired arm. They jockeyed for position on the top turnbuckle. Danielson headbutted Cage, knocking him off the turnbuckles. Bryan rocked Cage with a diving headbutt. Cage was busted wide open. Danielson clobbered Cage with a toxic roundhouse kicks. Danielson jumped on Christian with a tope suicida. The fans chanted, "This is awesome. This is awesome." Christian Cage poked Danielson in the eye. Christian followed up with a frog splash for a near fall. Christian was looking for a kill switch, but Danielson countered with kicks to Cage's sternum. Danielson missed a roundhouse kick, and Christian planted him on the face. Christian charged at Danielson, looking for the spear, but Danielson countered with a knee. Danielson blasted Christian with a stiff kick for a near fall. Danielson captured Christian's wrist and stomped on his head. Danielson ran towards Christian, ready to hit with a knee strike, but Christian Cage countered with a spear. Christian planted Bryan with a kill switch, but somehow Bryan kicked at it too. Christian ran at Danielson with another spear, but Danielson dodged it. Danielson hit a running knee on Christian Cage. Danielson covered Christian, but Cage kicked out. Danielson applied the labella. Christian reached the bottom rope with his boots. Danielson pulled Christian back into the center of the ring and tried the label lock again, but his damaged arm wouldn't allow him to complete the hold and lock it in. Big Bill came to the ring and distracted the ref. Ricky Starks jumped into the ring and blasted Danielson in the head with his tag team title belt. Christian covered Danielson and pinned him. It took 3 guys to get it done, said Jim Ross. After the match, Luchasaurus, Nick Wayne, Big Bill, and Ricky Starks stomped and kicked Danielson. FTR rushed down to help even up the odds and Danielson. Adam Copeland hit the ring and hit anything that moved. Copeland is going toe-to-toe with Luchasaurus. FTR clobbered Big Bill, knocking him out of the ring. Big Bill pulled Starks out of the ring before FTR inflict any more punishment. Copeland booted Luchasaurus right in the face out of the ring. Copeland speared Nick Wayne, and he said, "You asked for it, kid. You've got it," said Tony Schiavone. And we are on to Dynamite from Fort Bend Epicenter in Roseburg, Texas. So we are going to be doing the Dynamite Battle Royal, finding who's MJF's opponent for the ring. And let's see. We're just going to further more storylines. Let's see. Where the hell is my notes? My eyes are killing me today. And I went right to the wrong fucking notes. Of course. Why am I not surprised? Seriously. I tapped the ones that I had on in the first place. This Benadryl doesn't work. I'm going to have to take another one. Jesus Christ. So we started off Dynamite with Penta El Zio Miedo versus Switchblade Jay White. A massive reaction for Penta here tonight, said Taz. Jay White walked out wearing the championship he stole rightfully from the rightful AEW World Champion MJF. Penta wiped out Bullet Club Golds, jumping over the top rope and crashing onto them as they made their entrance. Penta followed up with a sling blade to Jay White. Penta El Zio Miedo crushed White with a diving double foot stomp for a near fall. Jay White spiked Penta El Zio Miedo with a DDT. Jay White hit a snap suplex on Penta El Zio Miedo. Penta connected with a thrust kick. Penta was looking for a monkey flip in the corner, but Jay White dodged it and chopped Penta, sending Penta crashing to the arena floor. Penta El Zio Miedo retaliated with 2 consecutive sling blades to Switchblade. Penta jumped over the top rope, landing on Jay White on the arena floor. Back in the ring, Penta and White exchanged chops. Penta planted Jay White with a spinning Death Valley driver. Penta was looking for a package pile driver, but Jay White countered with a Uranagi. Jay White drilled Penta El Zio Miedo with a brainbuster for a 2 count. Jay White nailed Penta with a sleeper suplex. Penta countered with a Blade Runner made in Japan for a 2 count. The Guns distracted the ref while Juice clocked Penta with a left hand. Jay White smashed Penta with a Blade Runner and pinned him. Jay White, cut my music. You know who sucks? It's MJF, because where is MJF? Not here, but you know who is here? JAY, because I'm the real world's champion. I'm a truly elite world champion. And Max, I'm still waiting on your answer. I am very generous. To my generous offer. I'm assuming you can't find anyone who wants to team up with you to try to take back the Bang Bang belt. Until then, I will lead by example. Juice Robinson. Spoiler alert. Tonight, in your main event, the Stray Bullet, Juice Robinson is going to win the Battle Royal. After I win the right to face MJF for the Dynamite Diamond ring, we are taking this ring and we're going to pawn it, and I'm getting another gold tooth. Renee Paquette was backstage with AEW World Champion MJF. MJF, I could have run out there like every single dumb good guy in history of pro wrestling, but I'm not a good guy. I'm a scumbag. Jay White, I will get my Triple B before Full Gear. Juice Robinson, I pray to God you win tonight because next week I'll be your left hand of God against the right hand of the devil. As far as Adam Cole, AEW World Trios Champions, The Acclaim and Daddy Ass interrupt the interview. Max Caster, I want your world title. If you want your world title back from Jay White, they said, an 8-man tag, us three and you will get all the belts and we'll scissor after we win. MJF, how about no? Max Caster, how about I get the Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal? Win that, and then next week I will win your ring and you're gonna have to put a ring on it. Daddy S. That guy is such a scumbag, Max Caster. Yeah, but he's my scumbag. Oh, for the love of God, this is not happening. Seriously. World Eliminator Tournament match. Student versus teacher. AEW Women's World Champion Hikaru Shida versus Emi Sakura. Did I care about this match? Absolutely not. I do not care about the women's division in AEW. I'm sorry. I can't be a part of something that I cannot believe in. I don't believe in this division. No matter who you get. You could get fucking goddamn you can get fucking who China from the dead to come back. I don't care. They really don't need a women's division, AEW. Honestly. Sakura ambushed Shida. As Shida is entering the ring, Sakura collided with Shida and with a shoulder tackle. They traded chops in the ring, in the center of the ring. Sakura went for a running crossbody, but Shida countered with a knee strike. Sakura dropkicked Shida in the face with Shida on her knees. Sakura splashed Shida in the corner with a running crossbody press. Sakura sent Shida crashing to the floor after a running crossbody on Shida was standing on the ring apron. Shida took down Sakura with a Hurricane Rana. Shida followed up with a missile dropkick for a near fall. Emi planted Shida with a Tiger Driver for a 2 count. Shida dodged a moonsault and blasted Emi with a katana. Sakura nailed Shida with a backbreaker. Shida fired back with a Falcon Arrow for a near fall. Shida rocked Emi with a knee strike and pinned her. Do I care? No. It's no. Earlier in the day, Rated R superstar Adam Copeland was backstage with Renee Paquette and gave a Rated R rebuttal to the TNT champion Christian Cage. Adam Copeland, things have not gone smoothly. I don't understand what happened. The whole idea in coming here was to end my career with Christian Cage and team up with him. And he sounded on board until it got real. I sat down this week and began replaying my friendship with him for over the years. We've known each other since 6th grade. We've been best friends in high school and college. We both entered an essay contest to get into wrestling school. I wrote in and he didn't. Fast forward and I got dream gig. I always said to whoever would listen, you got to see my friend. For whatever reason, over the years, it has been Adam and Jay, and it's stuck with him. And I feel it's frustrated him. He said, I had a rocket strapped to my back, but I worked hard. I'm surprised that this keeps repeating at this stage of our lives. He's riding high right now. He came here first, and I didn't intend to take away his spotlight. I don't want his TNT title. I'm not going to fight him. What that means, I don't know. One thing I do know is eventually Nick Wayne and Luchasaurus are going to leave him high and dry, and I'll be there picking him up. We have Wardlow. Wardlow's back in the fray, and we have Ryan Nemeth. He goes against. So Nick charged at Wardlow, but Wardlow powerbombed him. The ref stopped the match after a single powerbomb. Tony Schiavone entered the ring, interviewed Wardlow. Schiavone, everyone knows you're back, but why are you back? Wardlow held up his wrist and showed off his wrist tape, which had the letters MJF written on it. Schiavone, whoa, that says MJF. Wardlow left the ring, bumping into Tony and knocking him to the mat. Renee was backstage, interviewed Kenny Omega ahead of his match against Kyle Fletcher. Kenny said, maybe soon the Kenny of old, and he'd go after the world championship. No, he doesn't belong anywhere near. He's on a losing streak, so no. AEW World Champion MJF walked in. MJF. Kenny Omega, the measuring stick, World Champion MJF. I've always been a massive fan of Kenny Omega. I appreciate it. MJF, so I just wanted to say I love to shake your hand. MJF leaned in and shook Omega's hand and whispered, 13 days, bitch. Omega, 13 days, huh? We'll see about that. I am really getting sick and tired of this whole thing with Roderick and Adam. It's enough. Let's move on from this, honestly. Footage is shown from earlier in the day at Roderick Strong's humble abode. Where the fuck is Maria? Where the fuck is Marina? Where the fuck come on, it's enough is enough. Mike Bennett is playing the bongos. Nat Taven is listening with his plush giraffe. And Roderick Strong was resting on the other couch. Adam Cole brought Roderick Strong coffee. Coffee took a sip and spit it out, saying Adam knew he hated hot coffee. Strong apologizes and asks Cole to make him a PB&J sandwiches. Strong then complained that Adam Cole left the crust on the sandwich. Cole, I have done everything I could do possibly to help you. I haven't talked to Max in weeks practically. I need to get surgery. I'm done with this. Adam Cole left. Roderick Strong turned to the kingdom and said, I knew what he was going to have to do to get his best friend back. I guess I'm going to have to be nice to that scumbag, MJF. Tony Schiavone was in the ring with Don Callis. Callis was walked to the ring with Powerhouse Hobbs and Takesha. Don Callis, I've got something to say. Last week, the Don Callis family made history because in over 30 years, in one of the greatest careers of my life, Chris Jericho has ever been manhandled like that last week, because last week Will Hobbs broke Chris Jericho in half. Powerhouse Hobbs, February 2nd, 1998, was supposed to be the greatest day of my life. I had the chance to meet my hero, Chris Jericho. My grandmother got me front row tickets to meet you, and you walked past that old lady, told her to shut up, and looked at me and told me to sit down. 25 years, Chris. I held on to the frustration. I swore one day I got to whoop you. I was going to hurt you over and over. As I looked at you, Chris, you were lifeless. So what did I do? I picked you up and gave you a spine buster after spine buster after spine buster. And I loved it. Don Callis, all Will Hobbs' life, he has been told by people who supposedly loved him to bottle up the hate and violence. Well, now Will has a new family, and we don't tell you to bottle it up. We tell you to be what you are. He is a killing machine, and we're not done with Jericho. We're going to unleash Will Hobbs on the AEW, and we are on a roll. We are undefeated. One match where Sammy Guevara was hurt by Chris Jericho. I had to get a replacement. I had to get a man named Kyle Fletcher. Now he screwed the Don Callis family. Kyle Fletcher came in down to the ring. Fletcher got into Callis' face, but Hobbs squared up with Fletcher. Callis, no, I want to hear this. Say what you got to say, kid. Fletcher, as far as I can recall, I did that match for you as a favor after Will Ospreay called and said Don Callis on his knees begging me to do this match. And maybe I was at one. I'm going to prove to everyone, especially you, that I don't need anybody's help to beat Kenny Omega. Callis, you know what? I like confidence. I tell you what, Kyle, you beat Kenny Omega and you may have an opportunity to discuss next week. Kenny Omega began to play, and we have this match right next. Fletcher got the jump on Omega. Omega entered the ring. Kenny jabbed Fletcher with stiff shots. Omega chopped at Kyle Fletcher. Fletcher ground and pounded on Omega. Kenny fired back with a vertical suplex. Omega jumped on the top rope with crossbody press down on Kyle Fletcher. Fletcher rocked Omega with a kick, knocking Omega off the apron and onto the arena floor. Fletcher whipped Omega into the steel guardrail, sending him over the barricade. Omega nailed Fletcher with a Hurricane Rana. Omega looked for the Terminator dive, but Fletcher grabbed Omega's ankle. Both men traded chops outside the ring. Kenny charged at Kyle, but Kyle tripped him. Omega crashed into the barricade. Omega wiped out Kyle with a middle rope moonsault. Kenny clocked Kyle with a dropkick from the top rope to the lower back. Kyle spiked Omega with a half and half suplex. Fletcher followed up with a brainbuster for a near fall. Fletcher lawn darted Omega into the turnbuckle pad. Fletcher kicked Omega in the back of the head. Omega spiked Fletcher with a reverse Hurricane Rana and followed up with a powerbomb and a big trigger for a two count. Kenny went for a one-wing angel. Fletcher countered with a dragon sleeper. Omega escaped and planted Kyle with a snapdragon suplex. Omega rammed Fletcher with a knee strike and pinned Kyle with a one-wing angel. Don Callis, this kid is such a miserable disappointment. Uh-oh. The Murder Heart Monster, Lance Archer versus Barrett Brown. Archer chokeslammed his opponent on the ring apron. Archer suplexed Brown. Archer smashed his opponent 3 consecutive times in the corner. Archer planted Brown and pinned him. Very simple, very painless. It was in and out. Prince Nana and Swerve Strickland were on the streets. Nana, some of the top rappers have been here, and now you get to release the remix of Big Pressure video on Friday, YouTube. What an exciting time. Swerve, I am not excited because I should be celebrating my music video long being TNT champion. There's only one reason I'm not, because of you, Hangman Page. It wasn't a personal thing. It was Swerve versus the opportunity, but it's personal, and now you couldn't leave well enough alone. I beat you at Wrestle Dream. Nobody could care less about life than me. Just remember, it's not always you that pays for your actions. Uh-oh. Sting has an interview with Tony Schiavone in the ring. So Sting, shall I say the word before I say the word? I want to reflect a little bit with all of you. That word makes me think of all the years traveling the roads with guys like Lex Luger, Ricky and Scott Steiner, Buff Badwell. I traveled up and down the road with these guys. We looked at the generation ahead of us, guys like Dustin Rhodes, being the most charismatic human being I've ever seen in my life. Hulk Hogan transcended wrestling, and I did learn something from the guy. But one of the guys I really want to give a lot to is the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Thank you for all the moments. I remember the Clash of Champions 1988, the very first title match I had with you, and you put me on the map. What a moment that was. We used to wonder what makes these guys want to come year after year, decade after decade. What more do they have to prove? Here, I'm all these years later, and I understand why they hung on. It's the roar of the fans and what makes us keep coming back for more. So I get back to that word. Wait, so getting back to that word makes me, before I get quiet here, I know that some of you are thinking, he retired once already. I got to tell you that retirement in 2015 did not sit right with me, which brings me to the word retirement again. He was forced because of the freaking neck issue. Apparently, he was able to get cleared, and Vince McMahon didn't want to have anything of it. Now, if that was true, Triple H said at WrestleMania 31, you see it on his face. If you want this again, if you want it, we'll make it happen. Vince McMahon didn't want it. So we all got chipped out of the Sting versus The Undertaker. And we could all blame the fucking kook old man for doing that. I want to address it in live and in color on Dynamite. I started my very first match in AEW was Revolution 2021. And it was my very last match will be in Revolution 2024. One of the key things that you will all need to know, the only thing for sure about Sting's retirement Revolution is for sure. So who is going to be his last opponent? Give me your thoughts in the comments. Go on to my Twitter, tweet me out, give me what your feedback is. Jim Ross had to sit down with Nick Wayne and Nick Wayne's mom. Jim Ross, Nick, I can't get over what you did to Darby Allin. He's like a brother to you. Nick Wayne's mom. It was shocking to me. JR, I can't make sense of it. Darby has been like a brother to you, Nick. This is just so out of character for you. And Christian, the things that he said about your father to me. Nick, I don't recognize you right now. Nick Wayne, that's enough. It was always been about Darby Allin. I was always in his shadow. It was always him. They congratulate him for getting me here. It was time for me to prove why I'm here. I am under a new father figure now. Christian Cage is a better father figure than Dad ever was. TNT champion Christian Cage walks in and puts his hand on his shoulder, on Nick's shoulder. Christian Cage, are you ready to come home now, son? Wayne's mom said, Nick, no. Nick Wayne, don't touch me. You were a terrible mother. Nick Wayne got slapped by his mother. She apologized, and Nick said, you're dead to me. Nick and Christian left the room. Darby was there laying them out both. Darby hammered away at Nick, stumbling onto the stage. Luchasaurus snuck up behind Darby and cracked him with a forearm. Sting came up to even up the odds, sweeping out the leg of Christian Cage. Sting rammed Luchasaurus into the guardrail. Sting went to apply the Scorpion Deathlock to Christian in the ring, but Luchasaurus pulled Christian out of the ring safely. We have the main event time. Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal. The winner earns a shot at the AEW World Champion for the Dynamite Diamond Ring. The natural Dustin Rhodes was first participant out of the ring. AEW World Champion joined the commentary booth. Matt Hardy slugged it out with Jake Hager. Jeff tried to hoist Juice Robinson over the top. Johnny TV and Daniel Garcia were about to have a dance-off, but Menard stopped Garcia. Jeff splashed Menard in the corner. Jake Hager hurled Matt Hardy over the top rope and eliminated him. MJF walked to ringside. MJF offered cash to Dustin and whispered in his ear, wanting him to eliminate Juice Robinson. Dustin kicked Juice between the legs. Commander hit a springboard dropkick to Hager. Menard and Garcia caught Commander and eliminated him. Trent suplexed Garcia. Dustin smashed Garcia with a Canadian destroyer. Trent rammed Hager and knocked him to the arena floor. Menard eliminated Trent. Jeff Hardy was thrown over the top by Garcia. Daniel Garcia inadvertently collided with Menard. Garcia eliminated Dustin Rhodes. Caster tossed Garcia out of the match. Max is trying to push Juice out of the ring. Caster kicked Juice. Caster charged at Juice, and Juice speared him between the ropes. Juice and Caster jockeyed for position on the apron. Juice gouged Max's eyes. Caster pushed Juice over the top rope. Caster hit the mic drop. Jay White ambushed MJF at the broadcast booth. They began to brawl on the ramp. MJF grounded and pounded Jay White and got his AEW World Championship back. Jay White connected with a low blow to the champ. Juice Robinson dug into his pocket and pulled out the ring. Juice slugged Caster with the left hand of God with the ring on it. Juice eliminated Caster. Jay White took the championship belt back from MJF. Juice did it, said Taz, and it's official. 1 week from tonight at Dynamite, it'll be Juice Robinson against MJF for the Dynamite Dynamite ring at Excalibur, and they are now in a partnership with CML and AAA. So we'll see how that goes. And that will be the end of episode 3 of 311. Please do me a favor, go subscribe. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Like and share this video so it'll help me out. Please do me a favor, go check me out on Instagram, Facebook, Threads. I'm also on TikTok. I'm also on X, Twitter, and I'm also on Cameo. I'm going to try to edit and get all the things, but it's also all on Mel'S Mat Chat, so you don't have to worry. It's the same handle through everything out. Please do me a favor. Go check out Liquid Death at liquiddeath.com, Maestro Classics at maestroclassics.com. Check out Deathwish Coffee at deathwishcoffee.com, and check out HOG Wrestling at hogwrestling.net. Also, please look out for a preview and prediction of Impact Bound for Glory. I am going to cover it. This is a new thing for me. If it's gonna jive with me, it'll be one and done. But if not, I'll be covering it from here on out. So look for that sometime probably early in the morning on Saturday, because I will be watching it. And then Sunday at some point in the morning, I will be doing the review of the event. Please do me a favor. Have a great Friday. Please go check my review of Fastlane 2023 and just enjoy the rest of the weekend. I'm going to go relax and go watch some TV. I'm exhausted. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you tomorrow morning with the preview and prediction of Impact Bound for Glory. I love you all. Have a great Friday. Enjoy.